Come on in, you guys. Welcome to the show. This is the Arroyo Show. My name is Brandon Arroyo. If it's your first time here, give it a thumbs up and a subscribe. What a guest we have for you today. You can see them in Owen Wilson's new film, Paint, going to be coming out a little bit later on this year in April. Be sure to check it out. Rob, thank you for joining us. How's your morning going?
Morning going great. Thank you for having me here.
We all survived an earthquake this morning. Are you based in LA here?
No, but I heard from a couple of people that I do have some friends that are out in LA, and they just posted on Facebook just saying the word earthquake. So hope you guys are okay over there.
Yeah, we're a little bit shaken, not stirred. We're rolling, though. We're keeping it going here. You got to be excited for the movie to be coming out here. April, it's going to be coming out. You going to be in the movie Paint, starring Owen Wilson. Talk to me about the project, and are you excited for the release coming up?
Yes, I mean, we shot this May of 2021, I think. And yeah, 21, right? 21. It's been so long. Yeah, we shot it in May 21, and the movie is about, well, Owen Wilson is a star, but also there's other great actors, and there's Wendy McClendon-Covey and Stephen Root. So Owen Wilson plays this Bob Ross type of character. Now, I'm a huge fan of Bob Ross, and I don't know if your viewers are, but I've been listening to Bob Ross since I was a kid. He just lulls me to sleep. So that was what I used to listen to. But Owen Wilson plays this Bob Ross kind of guy on a paint show, and he is old school, and there's a new painter coming in to show him the ropes. I play a PBS host, Donald Moore, on a segment of the show, and I'm really excited. I got to work with them throughout the film. They're the nicest people. The director, Britt McAdams, he's super excited about the film coming out. This is his first feature. He's been working on this script for the last 10 years plus. So it was one of those scripts that gets blacklisted in terms of it's ready to go, but in the last year and a half, and back in 21, he finally got the green light, and he's been working on it. And a trailer's coming out shortly, hopefully. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well.
And very exciting things right now. I mean, as far as the trailer coming out, when you shot it so far long ago, that's just kind of the way that it works in this business. It's exciting because you have so many times in this industry where you might be waiting for the next job, you might be waiting for this or that. Right now, we're waiting for a trailer. That means your job is already done. So all you have to do now is wait. You talk about the anticipation of waiting for a trailer to come out.
Yeah. And what's great is that I've been keeping in touch with Britt throughout the whole entire process. He would tell me, hey, it's in editing. And then he's like, we're working with color, and then we're doing composition, and then with the composers involved. So he's been so great in keeping us updated, the cast and crew. So the last time I spoke to him, he's like, the trailers are literally being cut right now. And I'm like, oh, I just want to see it because, something that happened going on almost 2 years ago. You figure we shot it in May of 21. The trailer is going to be out before the movie, obviously, since it comes out in April. So it's almost a 2-year process. And since then, we've all gone on to different projects. But when we go back and revisit Paint, I just can't wait to see myself up on the big screen so that I can, have my friends and family and say, look at this guy. So
for actors, this is like such a culmination of years and years of work getting to this point. Let's take it back to when this all started. When did you know that you wanted to be involved with this world of make-believe that we all love living in? When did that first get on your radar? And just how did you decide this is something you wanted to do more of?
So in high school, I remember going to the plays by myself. Figure 14 years old, 9th grade, going to see musicals. And I remember seeing this one musical in 9th grade, Damn Yankees, and the lead actor in there was a senior in high school. And I was just floored that they can do that on stage. And I want to do that, though I can't sing. So that wasn't going to happen. And I couldn't imagine myself saying anything in front of anyone at that age. But when I got to college, I waited into my senior year in college. Now, throughout my college years, I would still go to see all the musicals. I would go to the plays, and I would say 95% of the time I would go by myself and just sit there and imagine myself up there. So finally, my senior year, I decided to audition for a one act. Actually, it was a three-act play. I didn't get it. I got a call back, but I didn't get it. So I got rid of the nerve of actually auditioning. And then finally, I got this one-act play, which was just me and another guy. It was called Fun. And it was, when they say you get bit by the bug, I was chewed up. It destroyed me. I mean, it was eating me alive. I was like, I want to do this. So I changed my major from pre-med. I wanted to be a pediatric cardiologist. Though my once I told my dad that I was actually going to go from that to theater, you can just imagine what that conversation was like. But they were very supportive. I ended up taking a year off, and then from school, and then I went to New Paltz, SUNY New Paltz, and got involved in the theater production there. And then since then, I've just been doing the grind. It took some time off, family, kids, life happens. And then I got back in 2014. I haven't stopped since. I got some great reps behind me. I got some great managers. My commercial agent is really, they're just all departments are really pushing for me. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, this goes back to in high school, I wanted to do something like this. And not until my senior year in college, and then I transferred, and then the professors at SUNY New Paltz, Dr. Beverly Brum, who was a huge influence on me. She's since passed away, but she is the one that really instilled in me about being an actor. And really,
what do you remember of those conversations? What would she say to you that would really stick with you, or what was it about those conversations? What was she selling to you?
Well, she was brutally honest. So we trained in there's so many different types of avenues where you can go through training. You can do Meisner, Stanislavski. At New Paltz, she was strictly Meisner, because John Turturro, who was a student of hers, ended up going and getting his master's at Yale, and came back and brought the idea of Meisner technique, and she incorporated that into her program. Now, this is going back into the late 70s. But when I got involved with her, if I sucked, if I wasn't believable, she would just stop and just say, I'm not sure if I can curse on here, but she would say, I don't fucking believe you. I don't fucking believe you. And then man, it affected me. But you know what it did? It just said, okay, fucking be real, be truthful, say what's happening in the moment. And when it happened, and when you did something that she just loved, she was quick to tell you that's what I'm talking about. You see, guys, you see what Rob just did? He didn't do anything, and I fucking believed him. And when it comes from something like that coming from Dr. Beverly Brum, you have to really take that in. So
yeah, and I'd imagine that having that vote of confidence when you are able to get finally that little pat on the back that says, yes, you're doing something properly in this technique, that only continues to further your drive to want to keep doing it.
Yeah, and then when you're 22 as an actor, I think a lot of 20-year-olds, 22, I want to be famous. Like, I want to be famous. And I had that mentality going into it, but that completely changed when I spoke to Beverly Brum. It wasn't so much about fame. I just wanted to do the craft. I wanted to be real about it. I wanted to tell a story, which has led me to today with, my partner, Lisa, and I starting a production company, and we are now writing short plays, feature films. We're producing films. We're directing. We're doing documentaries. So we're doing editing. You name it, we're doing it. But I'm also acting, which is, I think, if you know the technical part of that behind the camera, I think it makes you a better actor. So.
And there's so many young actors that I'm sure are going to take a lot away from that. Before we continue forward, I do want to say to anybody out there that is starting to start their acting journey, getting that training is so important. If you can't, afford to go to a fancy school or come out to LA, start in your high school or start in your college doing your theater programs. You mentioned Meisner, a great book for anybody that hasn't been able to study Meisner yet. There is a book, Sanford Meisner on Acting, where you can learn a lot of Meisner's training if you're not able to get into class.
I have that book.
You have this book as well. It is a very good book for anyone that hasn't tried it. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, we had to read that when I was in college. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Such a great one. And there's a lot of great acting technique that you can learn on your own, whether it's through that book or through going to class. So you don't have to move out here to LA right away. If you're somewhere where you're not able to, and that's not possible, continue working on your craft in the meantime. Keep focusing on becoming a better actor. You can record yourself on your phone. Rob, thank you so much again for talking a little bit about Meisner. I love that technique myself as well. Okay, so you continuing to make the transition from learning about acting full time to starting to dabble into booking. What was it like when you first started looking at booking, and what was the first thing you remember booking that stands out to you?
The first thing that I actually booked was a commercial for a college. They're no longer around. I hope it wasn't because of my commercial. They're like, we're not going to go to this school.
Right. They saw that commercial and they're like, no, I'm not doing that. Commercial's done today. College is done.
It was a college. I'm not going to mention the name, but it was a college. And at the audition, I did it in English, and they had asked me if I was fluent in Spanish. Now, I do speak Spanish. I am 100% Puerto Rican. My mom, obviously, everybody's Puerto Rican in my family. We're Spanish, but I don't speak it as well as they do. So when I booked it, I was like, yes, I got this commercial. It's awesome. And then at the commercial, we're shooting, and they're like, okay, Rob, here's your script. It's all in English, but we want you to translate this and do it in
Oh,
Spanish for us.
no.
I was like, okay. And as an actor, you learn to say yes, and I can do it all, whatever you want. So I immediately called my mom and I said, Mom, I'm going to say this to you in English. Please tell me what it is in Spanish and I'll write it down. So she told me word for word and I wrote it down. I kept saying it over and over and over again. So when they called me, I was like ready. I was like, here it is. And then it aired for a while. I was on PBS, not PBS. My friends had told me they saw it on Pix, Channel 11 here in New York. This is going back to 1998. It was. I'm aging myself. Yeah, 98. I was 4.
Whew. My God. So early
So that
commercial.
was my first, and it was really exciting. It was really great, and then when I actually got to see the commercial, because at that time we had VCRs and we threw in a tape. We had no idea when it was going to air, but we just put it in and we just hit record for whatever the 8-10 hours are. And then I would just play to see if it came up. And then when I got to see it, I'm like, holy crap, it's like, that's really cool. It just really, it doesn't matter how many times you book over the years. I mean, for me, it's always that first kiss. It's like when I kiss my wonderful woman right here, every time it's like the first kiss. So every time I get a booking, it's like the first kiss. So
that's so amazing. What a great story. I mean, to be able to have something like that, do you still the VHS tape, for people who don't remember the 90s or weren't around in the 90s, you couldn't always go to YouTube. YouTube wasn't a thing back then in the 90s.
No,
So
YouTube.
That's great. Okay, so now, well, fast forwarding to projects like Burn, or projects that you've done more recently. What
Yeah.
what is it that it's like now for you to be on set and working on these projects with some actors that, many across the country will idolize, and here you are next to them working on a scene? What's that feeling like for you to now be working in this sort of environment?
So what I've learned over the years, in the beginning, back into the early 2000s, it was a lot of commercial. I did a lot of commercial, a lot of national commercials, which was nice. And being on set, I only was focused on me. And I'll be honest, it was like, it's about me. I'm gonna deliver this line. I'm gonna do whatever they want me to do. I paid no attention to the director, the cinematographer, the lighting guy, the sound guy, the grips, the people that really make everything happen. When I got back in 2014, and I started booking small things and then bigger things like Skin and Burn, and working on set with notable names like Jamie Bell and Josh Hutcherson. I felt like, obviously they have a great career and they have established themselves, but when we're on set, we're equal. We're the same. They are doing a job. I have to do a job, and we need to do a job for the director and for the writers. We have to give them give their work, make their writing come to life. We have to work for the sound guy. We're working for everyone, but we're all equal, and it just makes me feel great to be in an industry where when you're on set, I still get, fan crazy. I just finished doing a few days on Blue Bloods and working with Donnie Wahlberg. I was like, fucking New Kids on the Block right behind me, it's all right. But I'm the DEA, I'm Sanchez. I got to be cool about this. But in my mind, it's like, come on, sing me a song. Now that's there, but I'm professional. And I've learned for people who are just getting into this, you don't ever want to be that guy in set to be an asshole. You treat everyone the same. I talk to the PA the same way I want to talk to the director, the same way I want to talk to the grips. They are there 12, 14, 15 hours just so that we can do and look nice and do our scene. I mean, they're doing all of this for us. So I have to treat them with respect, because when you walk away, what gets you, I had taken classes with Glenn Morshower, and he said, when people want to work with you, it's not because you did well in a scene, it's because you were liked and you work well with others, and work begets work. So if there's anything I've learned on set, is everyone is the same. We're all here to do a job. We have to be respectful. We have to say thank you and please, and then do your work. Come prepared. Always come to set prepared.
Yeah. So what do you hope is the legacy that you leave when you leave any set, or when anybody looks at your career? What do you hope that people think of when they first think of Rob?
I just want them to think that, wow, that guy, he was prepared. He's nice. He knew his shit. Hopefully they'll say he's talented, or he's a good actor. But I'd rather walk away. I'd rather me walk away letting them think that they are not regretting hiring me.
Here's Rob. You can see him in the upcoming movie Paint, coming out this April, starring Owen Wilson. Be sure to go and check it out. Thank you so much, Rob. We appreciate you giving us some of your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.